back to another video. I wish I could have got this to you guys sooner, but there were some complications. But I did the best I can for you guys. So let's just hop into this week video. Nonetheless, if you watched that Minnesota Vikings game, give yourself a round of applause, man. Because I know that it could not have been easy going into this game after last week. But hey, if you've been watching my videos, you would know. You would know not to give up on this team. There's have been one constant, was multiple constants, right? But one constant that I can point to from last season, which is this team has consistently have depth, star power, great coaching, defensive, offensive, and head coach, coordinators, and all of that, trainers. This is a top of the line organization. This is a well-rounded organization from head to toe. From head to toe. Even the kicker. Let's get into it. You know about that 61 yard. Alright, so the score was 10-48, right? Which is a blowout, right? They blow the other team out by over 38 points. In the first half, it was 3-34, right? Vikings up, 3-34, right? They proceeded to score another 14 points in the third quarter, and they finished out the second half with 14 points overall. That is not even a bad second half, even though they didn't score in the fourth, right? There's not much more to say. That this was a blowout from head to toe, right? When I seen them go up 14-0, it's okay, right? First quarter, anything can happen, right? Okay, they score. They score again on defense, and they continue to score. And wow, right? Joe Burrow did go out, right, last week. He suffered an injury last week, right? Coming into this game, they were 2-0, right? Joe Burrow is out. Vikings 1-1. JJ McCarthy's out, right? With Joe Burrow being out, I will say I give it to the Vikings, right? Right, if you've been up to the social media looking at the teams, right, I do think the Vikings have a better overall roster. With Joe Burrow, I do believe this might go a little bit differently. I don't want to be too much on the quarterback of their team, but he did. I think he could have done better, but he most definitely could have done worse. He could have done worse. So I don't want to be too much on the Bengals quarterback. But let's talk about, it was 62 yards, my bad, not 61, 62. Will Richard, shout out to that Fantastic Four movie. I'm going to have a video on that coming out soon as well. Just watch it. As long as the Superman movie. Let's get into it though. 2 for 2, 100% accuracy. Ryan been on this team for a while. I'm just Will, man, 62 yarder, man. What a kick. Ivan Pace was tearing this game up as well, and I do believe this was a big reason on why our run defense is really good, right? Particularly this game, right? 7 tackles, 1 assist. Give it up for Ivan Pace. Ivan Pace is truly underrated. He's a pretty good quarterback. He has been getting a lot more attention this year compared to last year, so I do appreciate that for Ivan Pace. And also, glad that he's getting the recognition that he deserves. Eric Wilson was pretty good, but this really comes down to Isaiah Rodgers. Oh my God, What? Isaiah Rodgers was insane this game. He had an interception. He also forced a fumble. Like, oh my God. Isaiah Rodgers was all over this defense like honey. He was sticking to everything, and oh my gosh, right? Did there's some blame to be put on the Bengals quarterback, right? I know I just went on defending him, but it wasn't just all him, right? Looking at this game, the team was struggling. They didn't have their top quarterback. Their receiver, damn, we talk about him all the time. Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow, and I'm gonna find him. What the fuck was his name? Jamar Chase. Sorry, Jamar Chase had five catches for 50 yards, which isn't bad, but compared to JJ did have it a little bit better. JJ did have, I think, 5 catches for 75 yards or something like that. We're going to see, but then again, he was missing his starter quarterback. Both of them was. But I do believe the Vikings backup quarterbacks are better. And I do want to talk about Brosmer, a Minnesota legend. He was at the U of M last year. He had a pretty good season. I think he led the Big Ten in passing yards for 2 years in a row, something like that. I don't know too much about that. We're gonna do some research on that. But I did want to talk about Jordan Addison. He was not in this game as well. Like I said, if you watch my videos, I do believe that they needed him last game. But this game they didn't need him, but I do wish that he was out there. Yes, 5 catches for 75 yards. Even though he didn't have a touchdown, he did average 15 yards a catch. That is truly elite territory, even if it's just for this game, right? TJ Hawkinson did pretty nice. Good tutty. Josh Oliver, good tutty. Carson Wentz does like to use them tight ends a lot. So that's something that, get pretty used to when watching. Carson Wentz, 14 for 20 though, with 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. This was a unbelievable game for Carson Wentz, right? He had great games, but this was a pretty good game coming in the third game of the season. Having a lot of discourse, not being the leader, the true quarterback, right? Coming in, but you're being a leader. To do this is great. Max Boomer, 2 for 4, 30 yards. I'm happy that he got some playing time. I'm really glad that the Vikings drafted him along with J.J. McCarthy. They drafted him the year after, but I say that is because looking at my videos, I say this. J.J. McCarthy is from Detroit, right? He's from not Detroit. I'm so sorry. Apologize. He's from Michigan, right? He's from Michigan. He grew up in the schools playing with Michigan. Or is he from Chicago? Where is? How long is he? I know he's from this area though. Sorry, I gotta get. Let me look this up real quick. JJ McCarthy football. I believe he's from Illinois. And he played in Michigan. Now he's playing in Minnesota. Yes, I believe he's from Illinois. I'm so sorry. I did mess up the history about that. But J.J. McCarthy being around this area is another great thing. I'm really glad that the Vikings chose regional quarterbacks. Jordan Mason, I'm really glad about the Vikings doing more in the running game. I understand that the last game, even the game before that, you can't really run when you're down, right? It makes it really hard. But the fact that they were able to get this league and show that the running game is not as bad, I don't know if there was some Aaron Jones news. I'm gonna look that up. after this video, but I'm gonna look and see if it's some Aaron Jones. I wonder if he just sat out. They chose to sit him. So I can't give you too much information on that. But Cam Akers, he been with the Vikings for a good minute. He had 3.8 isn't a bad carry yardage. Xavier Scott did pretty nice. You can see that right there. Running game was pretty nice. Put JJ McCarthy up there. It is sad to see him. I was hopefully like, this is a media slump, but no, it really wasn't. I knew that from last year. But I found JJ McCarthy. I'm like, hey, I'm glad that my peers were able to come in and be there and step up for me when I'm not there, right? Also, you can use this as some good motivation. You got Brosmer, right? Who's a good college quarterback. He was a good college quarterback. I say that he was a good college quarterback, right? He wasn't like the I wouldn't even say, he wasn't the best in his draft. He didn't go over, one. But, like, Brosmer is a good college quarterback. Carson Wentz is an NFL legend. Or at least he has a season where he did pretty good. All right? Don't forget when he was on Philly. He wasn't that bad on Philly. I mean, no, that's not to say he was that bad. I guess he was bad. He was good on Philly. He was pretty good on Philly, right? You got this. You coming in. You know what happened last year with Sam. Hey, you in a good predicament, and it's generally like well known that like the Vikings have a pretty good overall team, right? So, hey, I don't want to take this no type of way. All right, if I'm still mad comfortable. I'll be honest, I will still put JJ McCarthy over these two. I mean, Wentz has a lot of experience. This is something that they don't got, right? We gotta realize that. Brosmer, as far as assessing his talents, Brosmer is a great quarterback. Actually, I mean, I don't want to give him too much right now, right? But he's a pretty good quarterback. Something that this I feel good as a Vikings. If I was a coordinator or Kevin O'Connell, even as a fan, which I am, I feel good, right? And so I encourage JJ to feel good. I encourage Brosmer to feel good, and I encourage Wentz to feel good because you have great quarterbacks behind you that you can teach. You got great quarterbacks behind you that can also help you grow and develop, JJ. And you got great quarterbacks with you and in front of you, as in Boomer, who you can learn from and also has a peer that's, you guys are really high skill level, right? You guys are good skill level, and guys can learn and compete with each other to further progress your guys' career. So this is something, if you're Vikings organization, everything around the Vikings, everybody should feel good about this particular situation. One, what happened last year, right? Yeah, Jake Browning, he didn't have too much of a terrible game. I mean, like, it could have been better, right? We have seen worse. But for what it is, I don't, you've seen some videos. He's not, he come on, guys, right? Come on, guys. It's the third game. Come on, guys, right? And, he probably did get some practice rest with the starters and whatnot. I mean, Joe Burrow went down before the game, so, but it's like, he wasn't Joe Burrow, he wasn't the starter, so it's like, he is coming into a different role against a great Minnesota Vikings overall led team. So, especially with that defense, Isaiah Rodgers, Brian Flores, bro, you know what I mean? Jamar Chase had a nice little run, a run for 9 yards. I like that run. I don't know how to say his name, Pierre. I'm so sorry. But 4 for 21, 5.2 average yards. That is actually pretty nice. That is some good carry yardage right there. Vikings just really dominated overall, though, in total yardage, with including passing and rushing yards. The Bengals only finished with 53 rushing yards, and with the quarterback and Jamar, we already talked about this, right? Yards per play, 6.1, which is actually pretty great for the Vikings. Let's see if we can keep that up into next week. This is some of the play-by-plays. Like you can see, Roy Richards with the 62-yarder. One to get into that was the Mason. No. Sorry, no. I see right there. All right, yeah. So Mason with the 4-yarder run. Roy Richards with another one. T.J. Hawkinson. Josh Oliver, Isaiah Rodgers with an 84-yarder interception return. Isaiah Rodgers with a 66-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Jordan Madison. So yeah, that Isaiah Rodgers was all over the place, right? It's be honest, he really did take it out their hands. Right, because that's 12 points right there from Isaiah Rodgers alone. You could really count 14 because Richard did make both of those points. I mean, Richard was on fire too, so that's really 14. That's 30. That's 34 points right there. I mean, still a blowout, but it's like I do believe that will affect your mental, especially as the quarterback. Especially quarterback. He was in that quarterback head, bro. He was in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh. But it probably this is how things played out. Not much we can do. I also want to speak on this, right? I was really looking forward to this battle. I am sad that Joe Burrow got hurt and JJ got hurt. I did want to see a more, solidified battle of Jamar Chase versus Justin Jefferson. This was still a battle, but they both did perform really good. I mean, 10 yards per carry and 15 yards per carry. These are two truly elite quarterbacks, and just to think that both of these players came from LSU, the same college, right? It's crazy. Right now, I do think Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver. Chase, he's top 5 right now. Honestly, I would say top 4, right? Jefferson. You got Jefferson. I don't know. There's a lot of quarterbacks, not quarterbacks, but wide receivers, pretty good wide receivers in the league. Puka, Adams, they both kind of really fell off. You got them that duo on the Eagles that are pretty good. Whatnot. Hey, but without further ado, thank you guys for watching.